Reading out of the book of remembrance of Moses, the book of the law, the tablet of Gabriel, page 13. And it has emerged in many ways that this library is a restoration of the original Torah. It has been emerged in many ways that this library is the restoration of the original Torah. It has brought deep insight into the account of creation and rich details of the period of the patriarchs. And there is much insight into the meaning and vision of Israel. And it has even brought in some places explicit instructions in how the ministry of Israel may proceed during these tribulation times. All praises to the Most High, not I. Tribulation times. Tribulation times. The narrative often clarifies the rich meaning of the prophets. Luke 24:44, beginning at Mo, and all the prophets and all the Psalms they written of the Messiah. And even the life of the Messiah, has been augmented to bring additional meaning concerning his ministry. Added to that, there are several places where Anakasi, Anoki said, and Iakasa, the father of us all, the ancient of days, the one with the gray head, Yahuwah, Ahaya, where Anakasi and Motsa share counsel and advice. The Father and the Son shares counsel and advice, specifically for Israel and the righteous during these times we live in. After receiving all of this by Urim, after receiving all of this by Urim and Thummim, over the last 25 years, I can say that this work has been aimed straight towards enhancing the spiritual leadership of the house of Israel in these closing days of dominance of evil. The spiritual leadership of the house of Israel in these closing days of the dominance of evil. The Messiah has said that all that has come by Urim, all during the course of the earth, has been first for the benefit of Israel, has been first for the benefit of Israel. Romans 9:4-6, who are Israelites, to whom pertained the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of God. The covenants, whose are the fathers, and whom concerning the flesh, the Messiah came. And I believe this is because Israel, since ancient times, has been charged with worldwide spiritual leadership. Israel, from ancient times, has been charged with worldwide spiritual leadership. And I further think that since the days of our foreparents, the entire movement of the Father to develop a holy people has been pointed to Israel. The entire movement of Anakasi to develop a holy people has been pointed to Israel. As we came to the completion of this work, it was surprising to find that the law was a very ancient date, starting with our first parents, and more surprising still, from the very early beginning, the law pointed toward Israel. The law pointed toward Israel, who by and large live in the middle of history. The law went through a long process to find the full expression of the contributions of Melchizedek and Zequedaledabeb, Shem and Shum, the companions, the husband in his rib. But it was always formulated to be expressed by Israel in the pattern of the personal character of Abraham, in the pattern of the personal character of Abraham. And while many ideas expressed in this account seem completely unthought of before, there are very many explicit statements in the Bible that attest to the validity of this record. Any person can read all their lives and not see the meaning in the words in those places. And when it is all put together, not only is this record amply attested to the concepts opened up here, at their face, reasonable and what real life would express. Right from the start, this record has reflected the nature of the vision by Urim in the way it has presented real human life and experience. One can feel they know those people who have been so long noted in the Bible, but are often felt to be out of reach in our humanity. One good example that comes to mind is finding out that the Abrahamic covenant was laid down for him by his mother, as she was inspired by the Holy Spirit. Here comes a mother-son relationship into this far-reaching and historical dynamic covenant that has influenced tens of millions of people. And it smacks of reality, especially thinking of the typical Jew mother. And I suppose the most important value that emerges from this record is the law, is that the law is, at its base, really the preeminent tool for a happy life in every way. The original law is so much like our inner desires that cause us in our search for holiness. What kind of person who would want to lead a life of purity and honest service to his family and people could hate any of these 40 laws? I must say, it must be one who is bound more to tradition than to the revelations of God, as so eloquently cited by Malachi. Now, we can better distinguish between the clean and unclean, between those who serve God and those who do not. This work can bring a new and special hope to those who are determined to give their lives to Anakasi in effective service, Romans 9:4-6, and becoming more obvious every day that the traditional expressions of the world's religions have not and will not meet the spiritual and temporal needs of humanity of our present days, especially in view of the frightful downward spiral of all things good and right. I can think of nothing more worthy of a person to devote their life